Good afternoon. My name is Mandy. Welcome to my channel all about cross stitch. Today is Flosstube number 82, I believe. Today is Wednesday, January 11th, and I'm here for an update. I'm probably gonna have a little bit of a busy weekend this weekend, so I figured I just punched out of work and figured why don't I go ahead and film now? Then that way I don't have to worry about it over the weekend. I don't seem to be on much of a set schedule when I share my videos, so this is fitting in, and I didn't want to wait, even longer. So I was thinking earlier as I was, just kind of getting thoughts together of what all I have to share. At first I was thinking I really don't have a whole lot to share, but then I went back and looked at the notes that I had actually made, and I've got quite a bit. Definitely some Happy Mail and haul, Christmas gifts as well. But then also I've got a new start and some whips. So we may or may not get a sighting from Stitches, my black cat. I was just hearing her and I thought she was gonna be up on the couch, but she's not. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and check me out. Hope you'll stick around. There she is. She just had dinner, so now it's Zoom hour. If you saw that black cat go flying through and you haven't been around here before, that is my cat Stitches. If you are returning viewer, thank you as well for continuing to support me. Wow, I can't talk today. Appreciate your support. If you are a returning viewer and you are seeing a change in my background here, that's a new project that I finished. I have kind of started dabbling in some diamond painting a little bit, and so I finished quite a big project, and it is so sparkly and it's quite a decent size, so I decided to pull down the eagles that you may have seen. There is a jigsaw puzzle that my sister and her family had put together and framed for me long before I had even thought of starting my Heaven and Earth eagles. That's been on a different wall and not really in a easy place for me to sit to have that as my backdrop. But I've had my eagles there of the puzzle, so I pulled that down easily and just tacked this up on the wall. It's just with some push pins hanging up there. I get to see it. And the nice thing about it is there's a patio door here. If you've been around before, you've heard me talk about. And around like 3 to 6 o'clock, more in the summertime, because right now it's, getting dark and everything, but definitely in the summertime, sun is shining, it's beating into that window, and so that thing is gonna light up. So I'm gonna move the camera slightly so you can be able to see the whole thing because it's really cool. So just beware. So really cool little like galaxy type backdrop and everything, so that was fun. Okay, camera's going back. Enjoyed working on it. I've got a couple other ones in my stash that I'll be doing, but yeah, so it's been fun. Definitely not going to take over my stitching, but definitely enjoying a little bit of a backdrop change here. So alrighty, we're here for the stitching, right? Let's go ahead and dive into it. So first thing I'm going to share is the New Year New Start. I did start this around midnight on the evening of New Year's Eve, and yeah, right about New Year's Eve, and then worked on it a little bit more the next day. So besides working on it, that night of New Year's Eve and then a little bit of the next day, I haven't worked on this since, but I'll definitely be enjoying getting stitches added to it. My New Year New Start for 2023 is Songbird Garden Series number 5, Bluebirds of Happiness. So I was thinking that I was all set, ready to go. Still had a couple flosses to get. Yeah, I have bought those, I think. No, I have not. I don't know. I think I might still have some flosses. I've got a running list. Cat's playing with the toy. And so as I was getting things together, so that I can be able to start this on New Year's Eve, at midnight or the next morning, I took another gander at the fabric, ran it through the calculator. It wasn't gonna work. I was gonna have barely an inch total on width-wise margins. I don't need just an inch space. I like to have a little bit more you know, even if anything, just for the Q-snap possibility. I know framers don't necessarily need a full 3 inches anymore. The things that I've had framed, family has had framed, nobody's ever told us, yeah, you don't have enough margins here. So I know that's kind of been a old school thing, but I know my sister had a full coverage piece framed, I don't know, but it's been a couple of years ago now, and the bottom maybe had 1.5 inches, if that, you know, that was probably a generous measurement. She had to end up using just a frame, not a frame, hoop, to be able to stitch the bottom edges of it because it was getting so close. Michael's never said anything to her about that not being enough. But for my comfort, I was not going to go with an inch border for something like this. So I had to go scrounging. I wanted to do it on something that was similar to that pink fabric. So luckily, this is why we have fabric stashes, right? Luckily, I was able to find something in my stash. It's definitely more pink. The one that I had was just a witch-olt touch of pink. It's in my fabric stash. I'm not going to go digging for it now. It's pink. It's actually, this end has a little more, oh yeah, you can definitely see it there. It's definitely got more purple involved. So I put it on this end where there's not a whole lot of purple. But it's pretty. This is 18 count Bestitch Me in the color Punch. I think this material would have been in, Brandy does like quarterly boxes, like mystery boxes, and there was a beach theme a couple years ago, and there was some really pretty bright materials in there, and I want to say that's where it was from. So it may be in her regular line, I'm not sure, but it is an 18 count Punch. And there's my measly little start. I got 1 bloom done. This is full coverage, you know, that whole thing is fully stitched. Starting on another one, and then I'm just gonna have the brown to connect them. But yeah, that is my start. I was thinking that this was a 16 count. It's definitely big enough, especially as long as it is. I put it up in the other end of it, so I'll have plenty left over. So I was thinking, man, this is some really tight stitching. Because I'm using 2 strands, but I got to think, looking at the tag later on and realized that it's an 18 count. I had it in mind that it was a 16 because my fabric of the month is a 16 count. So that's why I say this had to have been in that box for it to be an 18 count. So yeah, Songbird Garden Series number 5, New Year, New Start. Looking forward to getting some more edited. So continuing on to my next whip, and still cottage garden. You're in the woods, bald eagle, what is this, number 7. I love this piece. I love bald eagles. They are majestic creatures. I have a tattoo of one. Obviously, if you've been around a while and you've seen my Heaven and Earth, it was, I keep talking about the Eagles, Heaven and Earth. It was Together We Stand by Jody Bergsma. You can check it out on my Instagram. I know it's posted there. It's been a little while, good year or so. But my Instagram, if you want to see stitching updates and updates of my cat and whatnot, pinball, it seems, you can follow me at StitchingBee82. But yeah, I love my bald eagles. There is, so maybe 2 miles from here, there is a section of woods, and there's a couple of bald eagles that have lived there, and they've lived there for years. It's so cool. Every time I drive through there, I'm always like, you know, trying to safely drive, but trying to like look out the windshield to see if I can see them sitting up in there, in their nest. It's so cool. There's a Facebook page dedicated to those eagles, and the photographer must go down into the woods and such because the pictures that they get are just so cool. But those eagles are really cool too, because a couple years ago there was a really bad windstorm that broke the branch that was one branch that was holding their nest up in the tree, knocking the nest over. 2 eggs were in it. As far as I understood, DNR rescued the eggs, so hopefully they were able to save the babies. But the eagles ended up just rebuilding a nest. They picked another tree right in the same area, and so it's just really cool to see that they're, you know, sticking in the area. So anyways, here's my bald eagle. And we are getting quite a bit of, especially since the last time you saw it, I got some work done. It is looking so good. I love it. So since I worked on it last, I've finished up this whole wing. That's full coverage. It's in there. That full wing is done. And then I filled up the whole body. I believe that's all done. And then I started into the tail. His feet are all done. Well, started. There's definitely gonna be more, obviously, in there. And then that whole wing. But yeah, got a great start on that. Another Bestitch Me fabric. I keep forgetting to look to see at the tag what the name of it is. If you are curious to know, just leave a comment, let me know, and I'll make sure to put it, either that or I will try to remember to put it in comments. Not comments, but, you know, the little drop down thingy. But it's big enough to be able to hold. I do plan on eventually stitching this entire series. I've got 4 pieces of material set out for doing the whole series. But excuse me, Bestitch Me has a bundle that is meant for this particular series that is their version of those. So I picked out the best one, and that green looks so good. I love it. So that is my bald eagle. Alrighty, the next piece, I'm gonna take off the key snap a little bit. I'm hoping to be able to get this project done this year. I don't know if I'm gonna break it down so that I've got a month portion or not, but we're gonna try. This is out of Just Cross Stitch, August of 2017. It's on that cover. I'm dropping it. This is Bergamo Borders. Artwork is by Manu Demerel of Siba Designs. Not sure if I'm butchering that or not. It is stitched in 3 colors, and I'm loving this. So I am stitching each band kind of individually, and I am doing the black first, and then coming in and filling in the blue. I apologize for my coughing. Yesterday, started getting a bit of a sore throat and kind of a scratchy throat, and yeah. So that is my Bergamo Borders. I'm not getting sick. I'm not getting sick. I'm telling myself I am not getting sick. So I have been using this piece a lot for watching whip parades. I did have to put it down a little bit. I don't want to get burned out on this. I let this thing sit for like 3 years untouched. Probably just getting burned out. So I don't want to get burned out. So I did put it down. Excuse me. But here we go. This is looking so cool. I love this design. So since I shared it last, well, it would have been in my whip parade, I finished out, I'm pretty sure I finished out this band here. I had a couple little colors of like the red to finish up yet. I did that whole swirly curly Q, and then I started it on the next band. And that band is a lot. There's a lot going on with that particular band, and so I've just kind of broken it down. But yeah, I've definitely gotten quite a lot done on that. And it's a good pattern stitching, and so it's been able to just kind of being able to just replicate it multiple times. I'm almost halfway through that particular band though, and then there'll be other colors added in, but for now that's what we're working at. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count weight Ada, just something that I had in my stash. Piece of fuzz. Stitches cracking me up. Alrighty, so that's the last of my regular pieces. I did kind of stack it so that it's my full coverage pieces are last. A couple more whips here. So I think I worked on this after my whip parade. That's what I've got it in my notes for. Yeah, it was year end. I was trying to push for a page finish. Didn't get there. But excuse me. I'm definitely in an area of a lot of confetti right now. So, design is Serenity Lane, so it's mini, it's the mini version. So mini Serenity Lane, artwork by Donna Gelsinger, charted by Heaven and Earth. And I am in that like floral bush right here beside church steeple, I guess it is. So it has been a ton of confetti. If you're new to stitching, confetti is where you've got a lot of color changes. So you're doing just a couple of stitches with one color, changing your thread, stitching again. I'm so close to a page finish though, and it is looking so good. So I really was focusing a lot in here. The page finish, I think the page finish is probably going to be somewhere right down in here. So I was making a push for it, but it is so much confetti that I had to pass on to something else. But I'm getting really close to that first page finish. This has got like 12 pages overall, so it's short and long. So I think it's only maybe 2 rows worth of pages, maybe a small portion on the bottom, but then longer. So definitely got a ways to go, but enjoying it, and it's so pretty, so dainty. Did you hear? Stitches say hi. There it is. I love that little voice. So yes, that is my mini Serenity Lane. Can you guess what my next piece is going to be? I was talking about this in my wet parade and how I was stalled on it, stalled big time, to the point of I had not worked on this piece in a year. I had seen in my time hop or whatever that I was using this for a 25/7 challenge project, and I think I just kind of burned myself out on that. I remember working on that. I didn't even finish a month because I was planning on doing like stitching on it every day for the month and then changing projects. I got so burned out. Maybe it was just the whole challenge idea to begin with. I finished, like, I didn't even change projects to like keep going with the 25/7. So those kind of challenges may not be for me. I like the idea of, you know, kind of stitching on a project every day a little bit, maybe like a thread a day, or, you know, just working on it for a little bit. What I should do, I shouldn't say should, because I've been wanting to get back into reading again too, but I work from home, and so I get an hour lunch, and I could easily, you know, take that hour to sit, and maybe part of that hour to sit and stitch on a project. So I could do that as well. But I'm definitely trying to get back into reading too. Anyways, Mini Stitching Moon, artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Hayden. I love the design. As soon as I saw it the first time, I knew I had to stitch it. And so I pretty quickly got the materials and such for it and started stitching it. And then I got burned out on it. And it's such a pretty piece. I love the idea of it. But I got burned out on it. And so it had been bugging me that I couldn't decide to, you know, work on it at all. So Full Coverage Fanatics has a challenge of focus on a finish. They also have a challenge of by the numbers. So there's different tiers of number of stitches to, like, you know, set a goal. So I set my goal of, I think I just went for 2,000 stitches. Yeah, I've blown past that by a lot. More than doubled that. Semi-Sane Stitchers Facebook group has a challenge of a monthly focus piece, and so you kind of have to check in every 1,000 stitches, and then you get, I think they have a raffle drawing, so your name gets put in so many times every 1,000 stitches that you do. So if I remember right now, because I haven't worked on it in a couple days now, I think I've done over 4,000 stitches. Thank you to Two Martini Stitcher, Erin, and Michelle Bendy. Both of those, between their two whip parades, I got over 700 stitches, close to 800 stitches alone. Thank you to their movie length videos, because then I turned this into using for some whip parade project progress, just to get some more stitching on it. And man, is it looking good. In fact, I meant to have this pulled. See if I can find it quickly. I apologize, because I totally meant to have this handy. So since we're working on this page, this will be the best picture to share. So this is where I started from. So this portion here, there's white stitches in the, no, where am I at? Yes. So under her hair, there's a lot of white stitches in there. So that's all filled in right there. And then page break. So that's where we started from. Over 4,000 stitches, and here we go. It was kind of some blue random stitches, you know, checkerboard in here. So that's all been filled in. And then there was some confetti over in here. That's all filled in. So that page break was somewhere around in here. So I have finished all of that and all of that. Like I said, it's over 4,000 stitches. So there's still some confetti right in here to still fill in. But otherwise, it's looking so good. I've renewed some love for this piece. Michelle and I were chatting the other day after I had tagged her in my before and after pictures of watching her whip parade. If you're not aware, she has a Patreon. So Michelle Garrett of Bendy Stitches has a Patreon page because of her designing and everything. And so she has now started to film any of her floss tubes and such live so that those members in a certain tier can watch as she's actually filming. So she'll kind of break it up of chatting with us. You know, we're typing in our chatting, and then so if you watch her videos and you ever see the little swish, it's because that's kind of her cue point to herself of when she cuts off for her editing. So her whip parade, that it was the whip and kit parade, her non-edited version through the Patreon was 3 hours. It was great. I sat here and stitched. It was on a Sunday, I believe, that I just sat and stitched, and I got over 300 stitches in. And so after I had tagged her in my before and after pictures, she commented about how much I got stitched and was asking me if I was planning on keeping stitching on this. And I'm really getting close to, there's actually 2 pages working here, because this the last page on the row is shorter. So I've just been working them both. So I told her that I'm getting really excited about getting close to those 2-page finishes, but I also don't want to get myself burned out on it either. So I'm going to kind of keep riding the train as much as this is calling to me. I've got some challenges, challenges to keep me going on it. So while I don't know that I'm necessarily going to get a finish on this year, I definitely want to make a good push on it. And I'm starting January off really well with it. So it's looking so good. Up close, it's kind of, there's a couple little spots that are bothering me with the bits of colors, but the rule of full coverage stitching is what? At least a 3-foot rule. Step back. Don't keep looking at it right in front of your face, because it's not going to look the way that you think that maybe it should. Step back. Once you get a few feet distance between you, it's going to look amazing. So, and this piece definitely is looking good. It's sad that I let it sit for so long. That's been a lot of blue and black stitches, that's for sure. And there's going to be a ton of white. Oh my gosh, there is so much white in here. It's 38.65 I'm out of like the skein that I had in this particular floss box. I've stitched out of it. I pulled a skein from another project. I'm pretty sure I used up that one too. So I'm got it on my list. Next time I go, I gotta just pick up a few skeins of it. But I am down below 5,000 white stitches remaining on this project, so that's a good thing because there's a lot of white on here. But it's going to be really cool getting down. There's going to be a little bit more of the moon, I guess over here somewhere. I guess so come where it curves back up again. There's going to be a little more moon there, but then otherwise we're going to start getting into that like water background and such. So hopefully it'll be a lot easier going than the confetti that's held me up. But right now it's looking good. So that's my mini stitching moon. I love this. So glad that I've stuck with it, and I debated for a little bit whether I, kind of wanted to scrap it, but I'm glad that I haven't. So that's my stitching. Plans? What are those? I don't usually plan. I've got some model stitching I need to get working on. And then I still have plans on Witch's Garden Craft on Instagram. Has a Gumroad, and they've got a Dark Goddess Sal. So right now the frames have been released. It's going to be 12, so it looks like columns, like, old Roman or Greek columns. And then there's going to be 12 spots, different goddesses being released. So those first goddesses get released in February, I think it is. I haven't even purchased the pattern yet. I've got the floss, I've pulled the pattern, pulled the fabric. Haven't even gotten the pattern yet, so it's still on my plans though. And then on order, so it should be to me soon, I have placed an order with ink circles, and that's already been shipped out. Should be here next couple days, I'm sure. So again, on Patreon, Michelle came up with the idea of, she loves mandalas and she loves ink circles, but she wanted to get away from the, stitching something 4 times. So, you think of a mandala, it's for, the same pattern repeated multiple times. So she had come up with this idea to do a round robin of mandalas, or, something that can easily be cut down into 4s. So that we can work on different patterns without having to do the entire thing. So she sorted out our group the other day, and so I've got that pattern on order. It's one of her Tracy Horner's Roll Your Own, so I'll be able to like pick my own colors or such. It's gonna be really pretty. Can't wait to see how to figure out what floss colors. Then I need to get that and see if the fabric I have is gonna work for it, and then get stitching on that. We're gonna have a ship date in March, so I need to get working on it. So, all right, haul, happy mail, kind of a mix of everything. We're just gonna go through because I got a stack. One thing I bought right after Christmas, I had a gift card, and so I just decided to place an order for it. I had seen this book from Cece from GGKCS, is that right? She had bought it and shared it, and it was one of those immediate paused the video, put it in my cart so I wouldn't forget about it, and then went back to her video and had to have it. So it is Self-Care Cross Stitch from Stephanie Rohr. If you've seen these books before, I know there is a like a feminist cross stitch book that's really cool, that's in my wish list. I don't remember if the book had other books listed by her. Yeah, it's not listed. But yeah, so that one, that's the cover. It's okay if all you did today was survive. So very pretty. I'm not going to do a full flip through. But very nice book. Community over competition. Try to do this without sharing the pattern here. Maybe everything isn't garbage. That font is a little hard to read with the fact that it's that super light. This one's cool. You are more than your productivity. There was one in here, something about pets. Pets are welcome, people are tolerated. Something like that. But really, really beautiful book. There's lots of tutorial in, like, if you're a brand new stitcher and you know, not sure how to do all that. This one's really cool. Creativity is messy. I am extremely creative. And if you saw the way that I have my projects stacked around here, I think you would realize how much that would fit. I really like this one too, because music is life. If music be the love, I can't read either. If music be the food of love, play on. I love music, so. Happiness is handmade. Progress, not perfection. I made this. I was looking for the pet one. Proud plant parent. Okay, last one. I'm not sure where the other one is at, but all vibes welcome. So very nice book. Hardcover. So had to have that. All right, happy mail. I got a card. Carolyn from Seazuck Stitch sent me this really pretty card, and I had to show how the envelope was addressed. Try to do this without flashing my address on the internet. It was addressed to me in Stitches. So, beautiful card from Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn. Appreciate you thinking of us. And it's so cool that her whole, her address label and the sticker on the back is all matching. So, very pretty card. And my friend Laura from Stitching by the Shore got her Christmas card. Thank you, Laura, for thinking of me. I love that you had all of your projects. Well, not even all of them. You had a bunch of them with you. Very cute. I love it. Alrighty. Into some haul. I placed a 1-2-3 stitch order using up a gift card that I had graciously received. Quirky Quaker Cauldron. I love that. The color of that is gassed kiwi is the green. I know I've got something in my stash that's going to be a brilliant green like that, and I cannot wait to stitch it. Michelle, Erin, are we doing Quirky Quaker birthday sale again this year? Because I got lots I need to stitch, and I got the turtle. Why am I waiting for your birthday sales for me to stitch Quirky Quakers? Because I haven't stitched any since March of last year. Picked up a piece of Picture This Plus. It's a dark, I don't even remember the name of this. Mystic. I had started the Fair Isle, I don't remember now what it is. Witch's Garden Craft. Had a gift chart in their Facebook group. I had started it on a material that is way too 20 count, and I'm just deciding that 20 count is a little too small for me. So I picked up in hopes to restart that. Ooh. And then just another random piece. I'm dropping it. I love these, what is it, like an 8x12 cut for adding some smalls. So another Picture This Plus in Moon Glow. It's not that brilliantly bold. Yeah, it's not quite that yellow. It's pretty. That's just for stash. Who knows what I'm going to stitch on it. A piece of white Aida. Because do you know what needs just plain white Aida? Heaven and Earth. I have my next Heaven and Earth starts planned. I'm really, really hoping I can hold off on this until March 9th. I don't have flosses yet, so that's probably the one thing that's stopping me from starting it now that I have that material. Right after Christmas, Heaven and Earth was having a 50% off sale. And for a while now, I've been trying to find a black cat stitch. Heaven and Earth has a lot of gorgeous black cat pieces, but none of them were just screaming, you gotta stitch it, gotta stitch it. There's been a couple that there's been a lot of people stitching, and while they're really cool, there's a lot of pieces that I get the idea of, I don't want to stitch the same thing that everyone else is stitching. So while it's really pretty, I get burned out, I guess, of seeing everybody stitching it that I don't want to stitch myself. But I was chatting with some friends on a Zoom call and was mentioning about how I wanted to find a black cat design, but nothing was calling me yet. And someone mentioned that they saw that this was a new release. It wasn't so much that it was a new release, but I think the mini was now available. If you know, you know. It stitches my cat. I love it. So this is a mini Brush with Magic, artwork by Lisa Parker. And how fitting is it that her last name is Parker? So is mine. March 9th is Stitch's Gotcha anniversary. So I rescued her on March 9th of, what would that be, 2018. So this year is her 5th anniversary of my adopting her. And so I think it would just be too perfect for me to start it on her Gotcha anniversary. So if I can hold off that long, my plan is to start that on March 9th. When chart can't travel alone, even on PDFs. So I also got Witch Way, as in a witch. I do not remember the artwork, the artist name of this one though. I've seen this around quite a bit. I've even seen it available as a diamond painting. I don't remember the artist name though at the moment. But that one's gonna be fun to stitch. I love those bright oranges and that. No plans yet as of right now to stitch that one though. But yeah, so that was my Heaven and Earth. Like I said, they had a 50% off sale right after Christmas, and so I bought the pattern, and hence I had to place the 1, 2, 3 stitch order. So yeah. More happy mail. Card included from my friend Jean, and she sent me Lindy Stitch's last Bird Crush Club. I guess she got a whole duplicate package of the final package, and so she thought of me, and so she decided to share it with me. So it came with the pattern and beautiful floss. Like she must have got the entire, I thought she just got duplicate of the patterns, but she must have gotten a complete duplicate of the entire kit, because I got the stickers and all of that kind of stuff. And then Lindy had, well, Stephanie, had included, it sounds like it was a bonus chart for like celebration of the end of the Bird Crush Club. And so there's armchair ornithologist. Is that the right word for that? So that's really cool. It'll be fun. So I've got a few of these Bird Crush Club patterns. I need to start stitching them. What is up with me? But thank you so much to her for sharing the love on that. Really, really appreciate it. More happy mail. I want to give away from Janet Jabber. So there was the card that she included, and I got a Jim Shore kit, little owl. So it's a Jim Shore, yeah, Mill Hill kit, the very cute owl. So thank you to Janet for that. It's brand new, all that. Fabric of the month This would have been December's Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month. I guess it was the color one in Evergreen. This is pretty. It's a pretty color. Beautiful, beautiful green. No clue what I'm going to stitch on that. The tub that I've got all of my fabric in right now, it's getting a little on the full side, but I have no intentions of canceling this club. So there's some very light, like yellow, ooh, we're losing stuff. Yellow light modeling, light yellow modeling. So that'll be very pretty. Something nice will go on that. And then I got some charts. We're almost done. A few charts for Christmas gifts. These were gifted from my mom. So we got the swans, cottage garden samplings. We got the reindeer. I love this one. Those antlers. I love it. These were all in my gift wish list. Nora Corbett. Let's see, what is this? Eva Nora? That's so cool. Definitely something that is out of my normal stitch stuff, but it's the witchy, you know, all that good stuff. And then this has been on my wish list for ages. Who knows when I'm ever going to get around to it. You all know it. Glendon Place, Sleepy Hollow. I love this design. I know it's got a lot of beads. It's got the sparkly, I'm sure Kreinik and all that good stuff. Where's it at? Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 3 Kreiniks, a water lilies, Cairn water lilies, and beads. All kinds of DMC. I love this piece. I think what spurred me to want to stitch this one is Christine from Stitch All the Things has a beautiful finish on this. Her framing is stunning. So, one last thing to share. This was a Christmas gift. It was in my wish list, but my friend Crystal got this for me. I love this. Bad Mother Stitcher. It's a logbook. So it's got pages for shopping lists, yearly tracker, so you can track like month. So it's got the months across the top, number of days, 1 through 31 down the side, to be able to track a project for the whole year. There's even pages of blank graph, so I can doodle out design. I don't know if that's focusing on that. If I want to doodle out a design. So, really cool. Progress tracker, other pages, different things. I don't know if that's even going to focus, but it's a cool idea. Figured it'd be fun to track some of my whips. My round robin will be a good one to be able to put in here to be able to take notes of, because that's I don't know that I explained much of that. So that round robin for the ink circles, there's 4 of us in the group, so we have it set of each person's always going to send the project to the next person. We've got a list of our order, and so basically we have to stitch 1/4 of it, of the pattern that we chose, send the supplies and pattern and everything to the next person. They're going to stitch the next portion. They'll send it on to stitch another portion, and then to the last person to finish up the design, finish it up. And so when it comes back to you, you've only stitched 1/4 of it, but the whole thing is done. And so we all have different patterns. So I know there's an After the Roses, there's a like spooky Halloween design, and a really pretty flowery one on top of mine. So that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to starting that. So alrighty, I think we've shared enough. I wasn't expecting to have that much to share, and it really ended up being a lot of haul and stitchy mail and stitchy goodness, all that good stuff. So I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. We got through Christmas since I filmed last, but I hope you all had a very safe and happy new year. I had a week off between the 2 holidays, and then I've been back to work. I do have a day off again this coming Friday. My sister is hosting, my sister and her husband are hosting a pinball tournament at their house Friday the 13th. There's a special thing having to do with an Elvira machine, and so they're hosting a whole evening of pinball, so that's going to be really fun. Great group of people there. I participated in a pinball tournament on Saturday. It was a women's tournament. There was 11 of us. Someone's got to pull up the rear, right? I finished dead last. I couldn't believe it. It was horrible. I was not wanting to be eliminated so quickly, but even an 8-year-old child got passed further than I did. It was so bad. It was fun though. Great, again, another great group of people. But yeah, couldn't believe I was first eliminated. Dead last. But yeah, so that's all that's really going on with me. It'll probably be a couple weeks that I film again. Besides the ink circles, I really don't have any plans of doing more shopping. That needs to slow down a little bit, I think. So I do plan on starting my ink circles, and then we're gonna see what else calls me. Like I said, I really don't want to get burned out on the Stitching Moon piece. So, but we're gonna ride that train as much as, it's gonna allow me to without getting burned out on it. Like Michelle was saying, that she will put a project down before she gets burned out on it, so that she doesn't get to that point where she just doesn't want to stitch on it. So I probably kind of need to do a little bit of that of my own, because I got through the by the numbers challenge so quickly. I got through, so many steps of that checking in on full coverage. No. Semi-sans? No. Yeah, semi-sans focus piece. And that was just, the first week. So I haven't worked on it in a couple of days now, but, that's been a lot of stitching. Been a lot of great progress, but so anyways, I hope everyone's doing well. Keep stitching. Stitch on what brings you joy. And with that, we'll see you again next time. Take care. Helps if I turn on the remote, huh? Bye.